6th chapter of Revelation. We've not seen any of these pictures on TV lately because all the other stuff's going on. Used to, they'd have pictures of little kids that were starving to death, and the suffering that it would bring. It's been a problem of mankind forever. The effects upon the bodies, victims, are dreadful indeed. You see the limbs, the stomach, the hollow eyes, all those things. One of the reality is that life, in spite of many modern advances, farmers has never been able to do anything about it. They've not, our government has not been able to eliminate from our country. I don't know how many will die in the next generation or next decade, nor do I can answer the problem. But I do believe that there is coming a day of judgment when millions upon millions will starve to death, and more than any single period of all in all of history. Jesus said, except those days be shortened, there be no flesh alive. This will take place during the reign of the wicked ruler who has been claimed by many. We find reference to the coming famine in Revelation 6, and that passage is given to describe the dreadful 4 horsemen. You've got your white horse, your white horse, let's see if I can, red horse, black horse, and the pale horse. Gives us a clear warning of something that lies ahead. It tells us there in the Bible, something's going to happen dreadful. Something very dreadful. Previously, we had pointed out that the first rider was a white horse. He carried a bow with no arrows, and he was wearing a crown. The rider symbolizes that man, the Antichrist of Revelation 13, who will come as a peacemaker. After the white horse, we have a red horse. It appears in John's vision. And when he opens the second seal, I heard the second living creature say, "Come." And there went out another horse that was red, and the power was given to him that sat on to take peace from the earth, that they shall one day, and there was given to him a great sword. Revelation 6, 3 and 4. The rider of the red horse will be given power to take peace from the earth. As a result, in that day of the coming tribulations of the world will be plunged, the whole world will be plunged into total war. The fury of the Antichrist will be unleashed upon the saints as a great multitude of believers, men and women who have given their allegiance to Jesus Christ, will die by the sword, but the reign of the Antichrist will come to the end at the Battle of Armageddon. Now, the following his writings here, John said, red horse and white horse, red horse and white horse. The apostle goes on and tells us the appearance of a black horse. There in Revelation 6, 5 and 6, said, when he opened the third seal, I heard the third living creature say, "Come." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and that he that sat on him had a power of balance in his hand. And the voice in the midst of the 4 living creatures said, a measure of wheat for denarii, and 3 measures of barley for a denarii. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Now notice here that in the third horse is black, which is a suggestion of death. power of balance in the hands of the rider. This is no doubt indicates the severity of food shortage which occurs at the coming tribulation. It is very necessary. The image of the balance is in verse 5, is minimized here by the passage in Ezekiel, where the prophet wrote down God's message to him as follows. In the book of Ezekiel, in 4:16, beginning 4:16 and 17. Moreover, he said unto the Son of Man, Behold, I will break the staff of the bread in Jerusalem, and shall eat the bread by weight and care, and they shall drink the water by measure and with consecration. Now they that like bread and water dismay one with another and pine away in their iniquity. The reference to here money is the coming black horse, which the money will buy a measure of wheat for a penny. And a penny is what you would work for a day. During John's day, a penny was what you earned. Represents a day's wages. You could buy 6 to 12 measures of wheat, or 8 to 36 measures of cheaper grain, like barley. But during that time, John writes about it will purchase only 1 measure of wheat and 3 of barley. From this, we may conclude that during the tribulation period, many will be unable to get enough food, and they will perish, and countless others will have barely enough to survive. The great famine of history has been the result of the devastation of like floods, drought, or wars. The coming time of worldwide starvation, however, will be intensified by the supernatural judgment from God. They are described there in the opening of the 7th seal, Revelation 8, 7, and 9. John portrays of this judgment upon the wicked people. But notice there the 4 different trumpets are sounded. As each trumpet is blown, a great calamity falls upon the earth. First, there is violence, hailstone, accompanied by fire mixed with blood. Here is the description during Revelation 8, 7. And the angel sounded, and there was hail and fire mixed with blood. And they were cast into the earth, and the third part of the trees was burned up, and all the green grass was burned up. The effects of the supernatural judgment of God upon this vegetation is upon the whole world. Each vegetation will be devastated. In fact, 1/3 of the planet, the trees, the life will be destroyed. Imagine the fields of grain, vegetation, the fruit lies ahead, the grass ahead. I've thought about that myself. How many of us would know how to kill a squirrel or a rabbit today, or how to clean it? We could. We just even, most people, young people, would starve to death. They wouldn't know how to. Squirrels runs across the road all the time. But imagine then. I remember one time I was going back to school, and I hit one gray squirrel, and I got out and threw it in the back. Roadkill. Yeah, I've eaten roadkill. And because I just killed it. And I threw it in the back of the trunk and drove down the road a piece. I said, What if that thing's, I just knocked it out? You come back alive. I got out and looked. Make sure he's dead. The second is on the object. John describes a great mountain burning that will plunge the sea like a great meteor. You know, they all the time talking about meteorites hitting the ocean, or hitting the world. So the second angel sounded with as it were a great mountain burning with fire and cast into the sea, and a third part of the sea became blood, and a third part of the creatures which were in the sea had life, death, and a third part of the ships were destroyed. 1/3 of the ships in the ocean will be destroyed. In addition, 1/3 of the fish, a basic protein, is that so many people lives on. Following the gigantic flaming star that falls and poisons 1/3 of the earth's fresh water supply, and the angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven during and Revelation 8, 10, and 11. And a third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as though it was a lamp, and it was fell upon the third part of the rivers, upon the fountains of water. The name of the star was called wormwood, and the third part of the water became wormwood, and many men died. The water because they made bitter. Fourth, the heavens were darkened by some kind of celestial disturbance. 8:12 said, and the fourth angel sounded, and a third part of the sun was smitten, and a third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so that a third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. The diminishing of light causes some of the great celestial disturbance that will take place and affects the normal growth of plant and animals. This too will contribute to the great famine of those that, taken together, the catastrophic thing that was taking place is the destruction of vegetation and fish and the poison of the water, which great diminishes the suffering it will diminish or bring about as the Antichrist rules. Why is the Lord going to do all this? Or God using supernatural means to intensify this? Why is that taking place? Very simple. Has the people of this world ever followed God and said, Lord, I'll do? You know it well as I do. The answer to both these questions is a definitely no. Yet, in spite of the awesome dilemma in which man finds himself, he refuses to face God. He rejects the Bible, the authority, the inspiration of God's Word. He rejects everything about God. But even the magnitude of the problem facing men today, he was still rejecting God and all that he had done. You can't find nobody that wants to follow God hard. They just don't want to follow him. The young people don't have any idea. Mighty few. He has failed to come upon the lasting solution to his age-old problem. Not enough food, lasting peace, worldwide poverty. neither capitalism or communism will be able to advance or not show us anything. And how helpless man is to do anything. In the days to come, rather than turning to God, it's time of distress, man will give over to his allegiance to the world ruler, the Antichrist. That's where the world has always been. I will punish this world in Isaiah 31, 13, 11 says, I will punish the world for its evil and the wickedness for their iniquity. I will cause the proud to cease and lay to naughtiness of its turtle. Let me say this. God has given us every opportunity in the world to come to Him. If we would only come to Him. And see, we don't have to face this. God's people don't have to face this. Because God is not pointing us to wrath, and God is not. You read Revelation up to verse 6, chapter 6. You don't find the church no more. Church is gone. Why? Because the church has been raptured away. And the only thing left is us. See, God will take His people home. The only thing that's left is those that will come to Him, but they will have to endure greatly. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in Him should not perish but have everlasting life. That's what God has said. We will not perish, but He'll have everlasting. Please come forward. Sing one verse, one song.